Have you ever looked back and thought, if only I had done things differently? Do you ever wonder what decisions people regret the most in life? What if you could avoid making the same mistakes before it's too late? We all have moments of doubt or regret. It's only natural. But what's even more important is recognizing the mistakes before they consume us or affect our future in ways we can't undo. That's why today, we're going to dive into the 5 biggest mistakes people make. Decisions that echo through their lives of regret and lost opportunities. And hopefully, this will help you avoid making the same errors. But before we jump in, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us grow and ensures you won't miss out on valuable content like this. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's get into it. 1. Neglecting health. We all know, deep down, that health is one of the most important things we have. We hear it constantly. Take care of yourself, eat right, exercise more, get enough sleep, and we nod our heads in agreement, fully aware that it's good advice. But knowing something and actually doing something about it are 2 completely different things. In the rush of our daily lives, health often becomes an afterthought. We convince ourselves that there's always time later to focus on it. Right now, we're too busy working long hours, chasing goals, raising families, or just getting through the day. But sooner or later, this neglect catches up to us. And when it does, it often brings with it regret, one of the deepest kinds there is. In our youth, we tend to feel invincible. Our bodies bounce back quickly, and we think we can get away with just about anything. Skipping meals? No problem. Fast food 3 nights in a row? Sure. Pulling an all-nighter and running on caffeine the next day? Why not? We tell ourselves we'll make up for it later, that we'll get healthy when life slows down. But here's the harsh truth. Life rarely slows down, and bad habits have a sneaky way of becoming our normal. Over time, those small choices, those little compromises, add up. Before we realize it, the years have passed, and our bodies have absorbed the consequences. The effects of neglecting health don't show up overnight. They arrive slowly, quietly. A little extra weight here, a bit of fatigue there. Maybe you find yourself winded after climbing a flight of stairs, or your back aches more often than it used to. You chalk it up to stress or getting older. But eventually, for many people, these small signs evolve into something more serious. Chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. Conditions that could have been prevented, or at least delayed, with better choices made earlier on. One of the most heartbreaking realizations comes when people look back and think, if only I had taken better care of myself. They reflect on all the times they chose convenience over health, the workouts skipped, the unhealthy meals eaten in a rush, the sleep sacrificed for things that now seem trivial. And the regret can be heavy because, unlike other mistakes in life, you can't always undo the damage done to your body. Medical treatments can manage symptoms, but they often can't fully restore the vitality that's been lost. But it's not just about avoiding disease. It's about the quality of your life. Health isn't only measured in years. It's measured in how you feel during those years. Do you have the energy to play with your children or grandchildren? Can you travel, explore new places, and experience adventures without being limited by fatigue or pain? Can you simply enjoy a walk in the park or climb a hill without feeling like it's a challenge? Too many people reach middle age or retirement wishing they had the strength and energy they took for granted in their youth. The lesson here is simple but profound. Start taking care of your body today. No matter your age, it's never too late to make a change. Small steps matter. Go for a walk every day. Choose water over soda. Get enough sleep. Eat real, nutritious food. Move your body in ways that feel good to you. And do these things consistently, not just when it's convenient. Your future self will thank you, not just because you'll likely avoid many common health problems, but because you'll be able to live life more fully. You'll have the strength and energy to enjoy the things that truly matter. You'll be present for your loved ones, able to make memories without being held back by physical limitations. In the end, taking care of your health isn't a chore. It's an act of self-respect and love. So, make yourself a priority now, because later often comes faster than we think. 2. Not taking risks. Let's face it, Staying in your comfort zone feels safe. Familiar routines, predictable outcomes, and secure choices give us a sense of control. We're often taught from an early age to avoid unnecessary risks, to make smart decisions, and to stick to what's proven. There's a certain comfort in playing by the rules, doing what's expected and avoiding the unknown. But when we look back on our lives, it's rarely the safe choices that stand out. More often, it's the chances we didn't take that haunt us. One of the most common regrets people express later in life is not taking more risks, not pursuing a dream, not making a bold move, not stepping into the unknown when they had the chance. It's easy to justify playing it safe in the moment. We tell ourselves that we'll take that leap when we're more prepared, when we have more savings, or when the timing is perfect. But the truth is, there's rarely a perfect time to take a risk. Life keeps moving, and opportunities often pass by while we're waiting for everything to line up just right. Fear plays a big role in holding us back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong decision. These fears can be paralyzing. They convince us to stay where it's comfortable, even if that place isn't fulfilling. We stay in jobs that don't challenge us, relationships that don't excite us, and routines that keep us feeling stuck. We tell ourselves it's safer this way, but deep down, we often wonder what else might be out there. When we look at people who have accomplished extraordinary things, we see a common thread. They took risks. They bet on themselves, even when others doubted them. They quit secure jobs to follow their passions. They moved to new cities or countries to start fresh. They invested time, money, and energy into ideas that were anything but certain. Not every risk they took paid off immediately. Some faced setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But by stepping outside their comfort zones, they opened the door to personal growth, new experiences, and success they might never have found otherwise. On the other hand, those who avoid risk often find themselves wondering, what if? What if they had started that business? What if they had pursued that creative dream? What if they had told someone how they really felt? These unanswered questions linger and can lead to deep regret. The regret isn't usually about having failed. It's about never having tried at all. The pain of wondering what could have been often outweighs the fear that once held them back. Taking risks isn't about being reckless. It's about believing in the possibility of something better and being willing to step into uncertainty to find it. It's about trusting yourself enough to know that even if you fail, you'll be stronger and wiser for having tried. Failure teaches us valuable lessons. It builds resilience, character, and perspective. And sometimes, what looks like failure in the short term is simply a stepping stone to something greater. As the years go by, you're more likely to regret the chances you didn't take than the ones you did. Life is unpredictable, and no one knows how much time they'll get. So why not take the risk? Apply for that dream job. Start the business you've been thinking about. Move to the place you've always wanted to live. Tell the person how you really feel. Whatever it is, take the first step. Even if things don't go perfectly, you'll gain experience, confidence, and a story to tell. Lesson? Take the risk. It's far better to live with the knowledge that you tried, no matter the outcome, than to spend your life wondering what might have been. Your future self will thank you for having the courage to go for it. 3. Losing touch with loved ones. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in a whirlwind of responsibilities, deadlines, and personal ambitions. Technology constantly competes for our attention. Work demands seem endless, and we're always striving to achieve the next goal. With so much going on, it becomes all too easy to put off spending time with the people who truly matter. We tell ourselves we'll call our parents tomorrow, that we'll meet up with old friends next weekend, or that we'll finally sit down for a long conversation when things settle down. But more often than not, that elusive later turns into days, weeks, and eventually months. Before we know it, years have gone by, and those once strong connections have faded. Many people don't realize they're losing touch with their loved ones until it's too late. Life has a way of moving quickly. People move to different cities, get caught up in their own lives, and slowly, the distance between them grows, not just physically, but emotionally as well. What once felt like unbreakable bonds can weaken when not nurtured. We tend to assume that those we care about will always be there, patiently waiting for us to find time. But life doesn't work that way. Circumstances change. People change. And sometimes, people leave this world before we have the chance to reconnect. As people get older and reflect on their lives, one of the most common regrets they express is not spending enough time with their family and friends. They think back to the birthdays they missed because they were working late, the family dinners they skipped because they were too tired, or the friends they stopped calling because life simply got too busy. What once seemed like small sacrifices in the name of productivity or ambition become deeply painful regrets later in life. At the end of the day, it's not the work projects completed or the material successes achieved that bring lasting joy. It's the moments spent with the people who love and understand us. It's easy to underestimate how valuable these connections are until they're gone. We take for granted the sound of a loved one's laughter, the comfort of close friends' advice, or the simple joy of sharing a meal with family. We think we'll have more time to make things right, to reconnect, to rebuild. But time waits for no one. A parent grows older. A friend moves on. A sibling becomes distant. And when the chance to reach out is gone, all we're left with is the wish that we had made more time when we could. The truth is, relationships need attention and care, just like anything else in life. They require effort, even when we're tired or busy. They need regular check-ins, thoughtful gestures, and shared experiences to stay strong. And often, it doesn't take much. Sometimes a simple phone call, a quick message, or an afternoon visit is all it takes to keep the connection alive. So what's the lesson here? Don't wait for tomorrow. Make time for your loved ones today. Call your parents, visit your grandparents, send a message to an old friend. Make plans, even if they're small. Show up for the people who matter, because you never know when it might be the last opportunity to do so. And in the future, you'll be glad you invest in the relationships that truly enrich your life. No one ever looks back at their life and wishes they had spent more time in the office or scrolling through their phone. They wish they had spent more time holding the hands of those they love, laughing with friends, and being fully present in the moments that really count. Time is precious. Spend it with the people who make life meaningful. 4. Not managing money wisely. Money, whether we like it or not, touches nearly every part of our lives. It gives us choices. It creates opportunities. It allows us to provide for ourselves, our families, and those we care about. Handled wisely, money becomes a powerful tool that can grant security, freedom, and peace of mind. But when money is mismanaged, when we spend carelessly, fail to plan, or ignore financial responsibilities, it often leads to long-term struggles, stress, and some of the deepest regrets a person can have later in life. It's a common story. People live beyond their means, thinking they have plenty of time to get it together later. They buy things they can't afford, chase short-term pleasures, and ignore the consequences of their choices. Credit cards make it easy to purchase whatever we want with money we don't actually have. Monthly payment plans give the illusion of affordability, whether it's for a car that's too expensive, a vacation we can't really pay for, or the latest phone we didn't need in the first place. In the moment, it feels fine. We justify it by saying we work hard and deserve to enjoy life. And while that's true, we do deserve to enjoy life. Too many people mistake enjoyment for reckless spending. The problem is, those moments of careless spending often create financial habits that are hard to break. Living paycheck to paycheck becomes normal. Saving becomes something we'll get around to later. Investing seems complicated or intimidating, so we ignore it. And then time passes. Suddenly, the future we thought was far away is right in front of us, and we're unprepared. That's when the regret sets in. When people look back, they rarely regret the things they didn't buy. They regret the opportunities they missed because they didn't manage their money wisely. They regret not saving for emergencies, not investing when they were young, not planning for retirement. They regret the stress they put on themselves and their families because of poor financial choices. Money mismanagement can rob you of freedom. Without savings or investments, you might feel trapped in a job you don't like because you can't afford to leave. Without an emergency fund, an unexpected expense, like a medical bill or car repair, can throw your entire life into chaos. Without retirement savings, you may find yourself working far longer than you wanted to, simply because you can't afford not to. These situations aren't just financially difficult, they're emotionally and mentally draining. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety, depression, and relationship problems. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can take control of your financial future, no matter where you are in life. And the sooner you start, the better. Managing money wisely begins with awareness. You have to know where your money is going. Create a budget. Something simple to start with. Track your income and your expenses. Find out where you're spending unnecessarily. Small, everyday purchases can add up to large amounts over time. Things like daily coffee runs, eating out frequently, or impulse buys. Cutting back doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means prioritizing what truly matters. Once you have control over your spending, the next step is to start saving. A good rule of thumb is to save at least 20% of your income if possible. But even small amounts make a difference. Build an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This provides a cushion in case of job loss or unexpected expenses and gives you peace of mind. Beyond saving, it's crucial to think long-term. Investing might sound complicated, but it's one of the most effective ways to grow your wealth over time. The power of compound interest means that even small investments can grow substantially, especially if you start early. Whether the retirement account like a 401k or IRA, or investing in index funds, stocks, or real estate, the key is to get educated and take action. And don't forget about debt. If you have high-interest debt like credit card debt, make a priority to pay it off as quickly as possible. Interest charges can quietly drain your finances over time, making it harder to save or invest. Create a plan, whether it's the snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first, or the avalanche method, tackling the highest interest debts first, and stick to it. Financial literacy is another essential piece of the puzzle. Read books, listen to podcasts, or take online courses on personal finance. The more you understand how money works, the more confident you'll be in making smart decisions. Don't be afraid to ask for professional advice if you need it. A financial advisor can help you create a plan tailored to your goals. At the heart of wise money management is the understanding that the small choices you make today can have a huge impact on your future. It's about finding balance, enjoying life today while planning for tomorrow. Imagine the freedom of knowing you're financially secure. Imagine retiring comfortably, traveling when you want to, or leaving a legacy for your children. Those things aren't just dreams. They're within reach if you start making wise decisions now. The lesson is clear. Start managing your money today. Don't wait for the perfect time, because it rarely comes. Begin now, however small the steps may seem. Your future self will be grateful for the discipline and care you took to create a stable, fulfilling life. 5. Living for others, not yourself. One of the most profound and heartbreaking realizations people face later in life is that they spent far too much time living for others rather than for themselves. It's a regret that often surfaces quietly, sometimes in moments of reflection, and other times with sudden, painful clarity. They look back and realize that the life they built, the decisions they made, and even the person they became was shaped more by the expectations of others than by their own desires and dreams. From a young age, we are surrounded by voices telling us who we should be and how we should live. Parents, teachers, friends, and society all have opinions about what success looks like. They tell us which career paths are respectable, as good or successful. And because we want to be loved, accepted, and validated, we listen. We learn to seek approval, often at the expense of our own authenticity. It starts subtly. You might choose a major in college because your parents believe it's a stable, well-paying field, even though your passion lies elsewhere. You might stay in a relationship that no longer brings you joy because others think it's a perfect match, or because you're afraid of disappointing your family. You may accept a job you have no love for because it fits the traditional definition of success, even if it leaves you feeling unfulfilled. Little by little, your own dreams are pushed to the background, replaced by what others think is best for you. For a time, it may seem like everything is fine. You might what kind of relationships are acceptable, and even how we should behave to be seen, even convince yourself that you're happy because you're meeting expectations and receiving praise for doing what's considered right. But deep inside, there's often a quiet longing, an awareness that something is missing. And as the years pass, that feeling grows harder to ignore. When people reach a point where they finally take stock of their lives, whether it's after a major life event, during a personal crisis, or simply with the wisdom that comes with age, they often see clearly how much of their life was spent living according to someone else's script. They may realize they gave up opportunities to explore their own interests, to travel, to love freely, or to pursue careers that would have brought them real joy. And with that realization comes regret, a deep ache for the years that can't be reclaimed. Many wish they had been braver, that they had stood up for their own choices earlier. They wish they had understood sooner that living for others might win temporary approval, but it rarely leads to lasting happiness. The harsh truth is that no matter how hard you try, you can't make everyone happy. And sacrificing your own fulfillment for the sake of pleasing others often leads to resentment and emptiness. The lesson here is simple yet powerful. It's your life. You only get one, and it's too precious to live according to someone else's expectations. Your happiness, your passions, your dreams, they matter. The people who truly love and respect you will want you to live a life that feels true to who you are, not one that simply checks the boxes they've laid out for you. Following your own path doesn't mean disregarding the feelings of those around you. It means finding a balance where you honor yourself as much as you care for others. It means making decisions that reflect your values, not just the values imposed on you. It requires courage, but it's worth it. When you choose to live authentically, you give yourself a chance to experience real joy, satisfaction, and peace. You wake up each day knowing that your life is yours. And as you grow older, you'll look back with pride instead of regret, knowing you were true to yourself. So, ask yourself regularly, am I living my life for me? Or am I following a path someone else laid out? If it's the latter, know that it's never too late to change direction. Start today. Your future self will thank you. There you have it. The 5 biggest mistakes people make that they regret forever. Reflecting on these mistakes is a powerful way to start making more intentional choices in your own life. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about awareness and progress. Every step you take toward avoiding these mistakes, whether it's focusing on your health, taking more risks, nurturing your relationships, being smarter with your money, or living authentically for yourself, is a step toward a life filled with less regret and more fulfillment. So, I want to ask you, which one of these mistakes hit home for you? Maybe you've already made some of them, or perhaps you're on the verge of making a change and heading in the right direction. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your experiences or any lessons you've learned along the way. This is a community, and your story could be the one that helps someone else realize they're not alone in their journey. It's easy to let life pass by, but if we don't start thinking about the bigger picture, we might find ourselves years down the road with regrets we could have avoided. So, today is a day to start changing your mindset, your habits, and your approach to life. Don't wait for the future to make these changes. Start right now. You got the power to shape your destiny, one choice at a time. And before I go, don't forget to hit that like button if this video resonated with you. If you found value in these insights, please share it with someone who could use this reminder in their life. We all need a little nudge, sometimes, to stay on track. Also, if you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll be notified every time we post more content designed to help you live a life with fewer regrets and more purpose. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching and being a part of this journey. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, remember, your life is yours to create. Let's make the most of it.